biggest difference that I noticed between my high school classes and my college classes was definitely the amount of time that you have to put into school outside of the classroom.
The workload's different, and you can't just show up to class, take the test, and be fine. There's a lot of outside work. I remember one of the blurbs that we heard just coming in freshman year was for every 1 credit inside a class, they suggest spending some three hours outside of class, and I kind of shook that off. You know, that can't be right. And I've certainly had classes that you need to spend those 3. You may need to spend more outside, class than that.
The biggest difference for me was probably the fact that I came from a really small school. I had a graduating class of 23, and so walking into a lecture hall that had 150 students in it was a bit overwhelming. And so I would typically just go straight to the back of the room, sit down, take my notes, and then leave, and that was it. And I quickly realized I couldn't do that. So some different strategies that I used to succeed was to make a class buddy. So kind of force myself to introduce myself to the person sitting next to me, and that was really helpful, especially for days that maybe I was a little late to class or I couldn't make it, I was sick, something came up.
My freshman year, I sought out a few resources on campus, the first of which was office hours of my professors. It's pretty intimidating to walk into that environment and ask for help, but the first time you do it is the worst, and after that, it's really comfortable feeling, and you develop a relationship with the professor.
Hey, I learned a lot from that.
Like not having your teachers always just coming up to you and asking, how are you? How are you doing? I noticed you didn't do so great on this last quiz. You really have to be a self-advocate for yourself in college, and that was probably a huge difference too, because in high school, your teachers are really aware of what's going on with your life.
I also utilized the computer labs here on campus. It was a good place for me to go to study and get computer work done that was outside of my dorm room, so less distractions. I think that taking that personal initiative really helped me academically here at CSU. You have to understand that the resources aren't going to come to you. You have to seek out the resources. Everyone here at CSU is ready and willing to help you and hopes for you to excel academically, and they're really on your team, and you just have to be the one to understand that and go out and seek it and ask for help, and you will be successful here at CSU.
Finding an area that complements your academics is really important. I want to be a teacher, and so everything that I end up getting involved with, I know is going to help me when I have my own classroom and in my interactions with my students. I became a RAM welcome leader and then became an orientation leader. And now I'm working with the athletic department, and I'm a tilt tutor as well. And it sounds like a lot, but it really helps you appreciate your academic experience, and you begin to learn the values and the goals of Colorado State. And so when you're sitting in class, you feel more of that community.
I work in a tuberculosis vaccine lab, primarily dealing with immunology and developing vaccines, talking with professors and investigating some of the programs we have here at CSU. There is an undergraduate research program, and this Office of Undergraduate Research and Artistry pairs students with research labs, and so research was what I wanted to do, and having a class with a faculty member who directs that program, he kind of assisted me in saying, hey, why don't you talk to them, and we'll see if we can get set up. And before I knew it, I mean, it was just, they set up an appointment, and I ended up talking to some faculty people in research labs and ended up getting a position.
If I had to give advice to incoming freshmen, I would definitely suggest that you attend class regularly. I would suggest that if you're having problems, and even if you're not having problems in class, to go in and talk with that professor and get to know them and build a relationship with them.
I think the key part is networking. I think being able to talk with faculty members and hearing their experiences and the opportunities that they're able to provide is bar none the best thing that you can do as an undergrad.
Advice that I would give to new students is probably to step outside of your comfort zone a little bit. It's not always easy to introduce yourself to complete strangers, but it's really helpful. And then some other advice is to go up that first day of class and just shake your professor's hand. It seems kind of awkward sometimes, but it really makes a difference. In high school, you had a set group of people that you were with all the time, and it was familiar. In college, you kind of get to choose who you hang out with, and so it's really important to choose wisely.